Hello! I'm pretty sure it was only last month that I did my first favourites video in like a year, and I said I wouldn't do it regularly because I probably wouldn't have enough stuff to talk about, but here we are. First off, I have a bunch of films and TV shows and documentaries and stuff that I've been obsessed with. There will be no spoilers for any of these things, by the way, don't worry, I'm not evil. I got really deep into like a documentary obsession lately. I would just play loads of documentaries, loads of like murder, crime, TV shows and stuff in the background while I was working. But the past couple of weeks in particular, I have been sucked down the Scientology rabbit hole. I think I first got really into Scientology after seeing the BBC Panorama documentary with John Sweeney. When I say I got really into Scientology, I don't mean like in that way. I got really into finding out about it, and then recently I discovered a new TV series about it that I hadn't watched. It's called Leah Remini's Scientology and the Aftermath.
My whole life I was a very dedicated Scientologist.
David Miscavige, it's a hammer in my face.
All the money we spent to try to hang on to my family, they've been owning me for all these years.
Leah Remini is an American actress, and she was a Scientologist from when she was like 13 years old. Her family took her into Scientology and she was a big advocate and everything. Now obviously she's left the church and she's written a book about it, which I'm really tempted to buy, and making this TV series, and it's really like emotional. It's much more emotional than I anticipated, because a lot of the documentaries I'd seen before focus on like they're so sinister and all this, and this series does touch on things like that, like the surveillance, but this also does a really good job of explaining why people do stay, why people disconnect from their families. There is a season 2 of this show coming, which I'm so glad about. It's really fascinating and emotional at some points, and I came away from it with a much better understanding of everything, I felt like, and I really got the impression that they cared. The next thing I want to recommend is on Netflix, and it's a documentary called The Fear of 13. I've watched this twice already. I think it's brilliant. It's about Nick Yaris, who is a death row prisoner who wrote to the court and petitioned to be executed.
Dear Judge Giles, I ask that one right that I have be recognized, and that is a condemned man's right to be executed.
I'm not going to give you like a whole bunch of information on it, because I really feel like if the less you know about this going in, the better. I knew absolutely nothing. I think this is a fantastic piece of filmmaking, because the entire thing is basically Nick telling his story. There are some filler shots to kind of demonstrate what he's talking about, but they're very vague. Like, you don't see actors, you know, recreating scenes or anything. You'll maybe see close-ups of feet walking, or a close-up of a book, or a light, or just an establishing shot. They use sound really, really well. They do a lot of like audio storytelling. They use the sound and the visuals and the order in which the story is told very, very well. I read reviews complaining about the fact that it was mostly just him speaking, and they thought it was over scripted, but that was what I loved about it. I don't know if it was meticulously scripted, it didn't feel like it. It's just him telling his story, and there are some really dark points, but then there are also some kind of uplifting points. I feel like you need to be prepared to just sit down, pay attention to this and watch it and be immersed in his life, because I just got so drawn into it. Right. Can we just talk about Logan for a second? I know Logan is supposed to look kind of disheveled, like he's given up, doesn't give a crap anymore, but that beard and that hair was doing it for me. He looked like such a sexy daddy. I fancy him more now he's got older than I ever did in the films where he was younger. Petition for him to play Joel in the Last of Us movie, anyone? The young girl that played X-23 was incredible, and Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman broke my heart. I love how just like pissed off and done with the world Logan is throughout basically the whole film. He's so like snappy and angry and bitter. It's because he's hurting on the inside. Literally from the first scene, me and Alex are sat in the cinema and we're looking at each other again, like, you know, excited and nervous in anticipation, because we're like, he's gonna fuck shit up. I was thinking it's gonna be intense at times, you know, and we'll have some downtime, but I was like on the edge of my freaking seat the whole movie. Even when there was some downtime, I'm like, it's not gonna last, everything's gonna go wrong. Kind of like in The Walking Dead when someone's standing around chatting and you can't relax because you're just like, someone's about to die, I can feel it. It was incredible. I'd go so far as to say it was one of my favourite films. I love the action so much. I love that they just went for it. Don't worry, no spoilers, but if you've seen it, you'll know what I mean. One of my favourite scenes was where Logan was having to like pull himself through the room. It was brutal. Then lastly, in terms of films and stuff, I went to see Kong Skull Island. Kong Skull Island. And I thought it was fantastic. I was a bit worried about it, but literally after I saw like the first trailer, I was like, I think this is going to be good actually. And it was. I really, really enjoyed it. There was one moment in particular where it was like a close-up of Kong's eyes through these flames and everything, and I was like, whoa. There were a lot of characters, which I know some people thought was a bad thing. I don't mind. I felt like even though you didn't get to spend loads of time with them, I got a good enough sense of who they were. At the end of the day, I'm not going to see a King Kong film for all these other characters. These people were just an excuse for me to see King Kong do some cool shit. But I thought they were all brilliant anyway. I love John C. Reilly. He was so good. I've got my laptop next to me with my list of my favourite things, and next it just says Lana Del Rey and sexy nature shots. I've been listening to a lot of Lana Del Rey, and it kind of began because you know the opening few shots in my most recent What I Ate video? I really, really love filming little nature shots like that, and I try and sneak a lot of them into my What I Ate videos. I struggle with going out still a lot, and so I wanted to go film these nature shots, so I often will put like my headphones on, but then sometimes that makes me more anxious because I'm like, oh, I might not hear a car coming and I'm gonna get hit by a car. But I compromised and I put like one earbud in and have my phone in my pocket. So I went out and I put Lana Del Rey's Honeymoon album on, and I actually got a lot of shots first of all that I didn't like because I was kind of hurrying and like there were some cars and some people, so I was just like, yeah, I'm just filming this leaf. But I didn't actually like the footage that I was getting. So I walked a bit further and actually went to the place where me and Alex will often go on walks in the summer because it's all like, you know, pretty and there's all trees around, and I saw a pigeon and I was really quickly trying to like film this pigeon, which didn't quite go to plan, and then I saw this squirrel. And then I'm walking around like following this squirrel and really quickly but quietly trying to set up my tripod and like, you know, not scare him away. He ran away quite a lot. And before I knew it, I'd been filming for quite a while, and I had all these shots that I really loved, and I was really enjoying myself, and I just kind of stopped and noticed that at one point and was very happy about it. And Religion from that album was playing. Because I just let the album play, I ended up listening to songs that I don't usually listen to and kind of falling in love with them, and I just keep listening to it now because I'm kind of like invoking that feeling for myself again. Now I want to share a bunch of phone related things. I got this case from eBay, by the way, because I know you will ask. I am really, really proud of a phone theme that I made. I guess you could just call it a wallpaper, but I keep calling it a theme because I made a matching but different wallpaper for the lock screen. I made this with some illustrations of mine, and I'm really, really happy with how it went. This was me basically testing out an idea, and I think I am going to go ahead with it. Basically, I thought it could be cool when I kind of revamp Little Doe to have some free themes or wallpapers or whatever you want to call it that you guys can use. I don't know about you, but I've always struggled to find wallpapers and stuff that I really like for my phone. And even when I would find a picture I liked, sometimes it just wouldn't fit quite right. So I thought I could make some. The only problem I've run into is like, there's lots of different phones. The lock screens look different, so they might not be perfect, but I hope you will like them. Now there are 2 Instagram accounts that I want to share with you. The first is an incredible tattoo artist called Eva. I had seen Eva's work shared online before, but I was never quite sure who the artist was, and I wanted to use a piece of her work in my reading mean tattoo comments video, which I did. So I found out who the artist was so I could credit them, and I am obsessed. She does these incredibly detailed, beautiful designs in little circles. I think the fox one might be my ultimate favourite just because I love foxes. And the fields and the sky, like the detail in it, the corn in that one. They're so, so beautiful. I definitely recommend checking out her Instagram account. I was scrolling on there for ages looking at so much of her work. She's based in New York, so congratulations if you live in New York. I hate you, I'm very jealous. New York is the only place I've been in America. Fun fact. The next Instagram account is Maymo the dog. Maymo is an incredible cosplayer. Oh my god. Here's Maymo as a little bear. This is Maymo as a unicorn. This is his elephant costume. These people seem to have just some incredibly chilled dogs, and I think they just cut the face out of like stuffed toys and things and pop it on their face and they just sit there. I can only dream of my cosplay being that on point. Another one of my favourite things has been all the comments comparing me to Xena ever since I went back to dark hair. Thanks. That's one of the biggest compliments you could give me. And while I will never be as good as the Queen, I appreciate it. Thank you. I do feel more Xena again and I like it. I'm thinking of making a video where I like transform into Xena for you. Honestly, I'm just looking for an excuse. I think that's everything that I wanted to share with you. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry if it was disappointing that like I didn't have many physical, I went out and bought this kind of things to show you. I just don't really have any things, but I could sit and chat about stuff like this forever. So let me know what you think about that. If you like it, if you would like more videos like this, thank you for watching and I will speak to you again soon. Bye bye.